Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek D. Smooth Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
This episode of Still Got Game is brought to you by GoDaddy. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 30. Still Got Game is the official podcast of ToolToPlay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel, a Dude I Rock Albert.
What is going on, Joel Dude I Rock Albert? My friend, we've missed you so much.
No one even knew I was gone. Electrify came in. She was taking over the scene. No one needs me anymore. Sad. So
sad. Tear.
Oh.
Well, it's good to have you back, my friend. How was California?
It was good. Was out there for 2.5 weeks trying to find a place to live. Hopefully after the show, I will secure my place. We looked at some pretty nice spots. So I will be downtown in San Francisco May 1st. So I don't know how that's going to affect the show's timing because we are going to be eons apart when it comes to time.
Yeah, once you're out there for good, we're going to have to probably change the time of the show to be a little later in the evening.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. The good news is I'm like, if I get this place, I'm like 2 minutes from work. I can walk straight downtown. So it's just a quick shuffle or two and I'm back to my place. So I don't have to like get on any crazy transit or spend 6 hours in traffic.
That would be convenient.
Yeah, hopefully that'll cut the time. But yeah, no, it was a good time. It was great being out of Chicago and not feeling cold, thundery, shitty, snowy, icy weather for the last 2 weeks. It was pretty much 70 degrees on the dot for 2 weeks and no rain.
Not bad at all.
Be with that shit. So yeah, I'm glad to be back though. It's been a long time since I've done the show, and I can't wait to fumble through a bunch of crap.
Yeah, that's what we always look forward to with you is your shoddy reads and barely almost non-existent ability for the English language. All right. Well, on that, Jay, we're going to hop right into feedback from last week's show. And remember, if any of you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Cute and deadly comments. You and Electrify had me cracking up this week. The husband-wife dynamic to the past 2 episodes has been hilarious. Thanks for the laughs.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's really dynamic or we were arguing, but one or the other.
I think that's probably what they got to see is finally 2 people arguing. Because with us, it's too much of the agreeing. They're like, oh, this is what it's like when 2 people argue. And then they realize, oh, that's what married people do.
Yeah.
They feel
when you and I just agree all the time, they're like, wow, cute couple.
Exactly. That's good.
Right.
I'm glad you did well, and I'm glad you guys got awesome comments and awesome feedback.
Yeah, it's a little rough recording in the manner we have to here without 2 whole studios. So we kind of do some video trickery, which is pretty transparent and everybody figures out. But I don't have to wear a headset those shows, which is nice because that really
is nice. Yeah,
screws things up.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yes. All right. And Marcus comments, although I've enjoyed the Electrify episodes, is there any schedule for when Dude I Rock will return? Don't get me wrong, the show is still awesome, but it's been too short for my commute. A little XD action at the end. So that is true.
What I like about that, can I just say, is that he kind of goes on to praise me like, oh, when's Duty going to be back? I can't wait. But then he kind of says why. And the reason is because I'm long-winded. That's the reason he misses me. He's like, oh, we need Duty back because he fucking babbles for a long enough period of time that my commute doesn't feel as empty and my life has more meaning.
That is true. That is like a backhanded compliment insult thing. Yes. Well, the last episode, and it came up in the after show last time. For those of you listening to the audio version, I dumped that part in the outtakes last week. And it was talking to how Tiff doesn't. She talks a lot at home, but on the vidcast, I end up talking a whole lot except for the parts she reads. So the shows have been 35 minutes, 40 minutes. So they are a good 20, 25 minutes shorter than usual. So, it is what it is. You're either going to get a short episode with Tiff until maybe I ply her with the next time she has to sub in enough drinks that she just won't shut up. And then you'll be like, oh my God, this is insane. One episode took 5 commutes, but,
well, you have to be comfortable enough babbling about shit that makes no sense.
Yes.
That's the key.
You have to look off and do it.
Right. Like, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with any conversation that I have. I just get there somehow.
No, I just start a sentence and eventually I figure out where it's going. Just like
man,
that.
I hope my brain picks up at some point because this is getting fucking boring.
It's like rolling down a hill on a motorcycle and, popping the clutch and hoping it starts.
Exactly. Every sentence we ever start.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And last but not least, Tom comments. Whenever you talk about the game sharing stuff on Xbox One, I feel like you're doing the Lord's work. Thanks to your explanations, we now have a second Xbox One and are doing the all digital thing. All hail, still got game. So Jay, when you were out, Tiff and I we had a couple questions 2 episodes ago on this in detail, and we followed up again last week. And I think that now that we've explained it to people, the benefit of this, like our $160 copy of Titanfall for the 2 of us, I think that people are starting to catch on that this might be a good thing in a multi-gamer household.
This is a problem, though, again, with marketing. I mean, like, I've known this because I've been following it since the beginning. You've known this because you've been following it since the beginning. But what a great way to sell more product, more Xbox Ones. Yeah. I mean, it's just people don't know about it because once they originally did their whole, digital only, this is the way it's going to be, people flip shit. And then I kind of feel like they just decided, well, we'll just forget about it. We won't even talk about it.
Yep.
And now there's this awesome, all this awesome ways to share your content and not actually spend another, $60 on a game, but no one knows about it.
No, it's not publicized enough. Whoever's in that department at Microsoft, they need to be replaced.
Agreed.
But yes, Tom, thank you for the comment, and we're glad we could help you. And congratulations on your second Xbox One. Welcome to the club.
Nice. Get a PS4 too while you're at it. They're super fun.
Yeah, might as well. Add one to the collection. They're like Pokemon.
Exactly.
All right. Well, if any of you have feedback, you can either call us at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And site-related news, I've got nothing. And Jay, I'm pretty sure since you've been out of the loop, you probably are pretty low on site-related news.
I got nothing.
All right.
Time, people. Time. Do not have
news will be coming. Just a couple weeks. Give us 3-4 weeks. Yes. All right, Jay. Well, on that, why don't we hop over into what we're playing? Joel, Dude, I Rock, Albert, have you played anything in the last 3 weeks?
Believe it or not, I got home, and everyone's been talking about Titanfall. I downloaded it before I left, which I think I left day of release. I've yet to play it since. And then Diablo 3, where the new expansion got released while I was in San Francisco, got home, started playing that, haven't even went over to my Xbox One. I love the expansion. I think it's the fucking greatest thing ever. And I hated Diablo 3. Which is ironic because you loved Diablo 3 after you started playing on a PS4. Now I'm back into loving it with the expansion, so I'm currently stuck in Diablo 3 expansion land. I will hopefully tonight play for the first time Titanfall.
Yeah, I can't wait for Reaper of Souls to come out for one of the next-gen consoles because we, like you said, we played the shit out of Diablo 3 on the 360. But next-gen, there's nothing. And when it finally does come out, which it has been announced for the PS4, and hopefully maybe it'll come out for the Xbox One, but that is definitely on our list because that game is so super fucking fun. So good. But Titanfall is the hotness. That is what I've been playing every week since it's been released and exclusively since it's been released. And you will enjoy the fuck out of it, Jay. It is, well, you played the beta, so you know. It's got that one more game feel. One more game. All right, one more game. But it has enough of the dangling carrot with the unlocks. It has all your friends are there. It's just so fun, and it's good. And Respawn has done a fantastic job. They've been addressing problems with the game. They've been updating the game. They've been making changes to the playlist. So kudos to Respawn. Great game, and I will continue playing that, and I'll probably play some more later tonight.
I'm glad everyone's having a good time. The biggest the bode that I heard from my brother and a bunch of other people was this is the first game they've played in probably over 4 or 5 years where they've got the just one more game syndrome. And everyone I've talked to, you, my brother, anyone that's called me while I was on vacation was like, dude, you play, you think it's a half hour, and this is how you know it's a good game. You look at your watch, it's been 4 days. And you smell like shit. And your kids are like, please feed me. That's a good game.
Yeah. It's been since Halo 2, really, that I've had that one more game feel to it. Like I've played the shit out of certain games, but not that okay, I usually go to bed at 1, it's 12:55, but I can probably fit in a 20-minute game here in 5 minutes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, one more. So definitely it has that feel to it. It really, they did really well out of the gate. This is a great first shot off the bat. Now, granted, they're not really a new company, but first shot is awesome.
Can't wait.
All right. Well, we have a semi-light week of new releases this week. So we'll move on to the new releases. First new release out this week is a multi-platform release, and it is Elder Scrolls Online. And this is out for the PC and the Mac. This is Bethesda's long-awaited MMORPG set in the Elder Scrolls universe. It's set about 750 years before the events of Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. For those of you geeks that are in the timeline there, that's probably about 1,000 years before Skyrim. So just put it all in perspective. So just before Elder Scrolls 3 by 750 years. In addition to featuring non-linear quests, it also features a bunch of huge random world events like a lot of other MMOs have been doing over the last couple of years. Warcraft really fine-tuned those, and now everybody's kind of jumping on that bandwagon. It's going to be coming to the PS4 and the Xbox One this June, but right now, like I said, only the PC and Mac. There's no early review scores out for this yet, but fans of the series, you know, if you're an Elder Scrolls fan, this is probably a must-have for you. And granted, I'm going to warn you, it's not the same game you've been playing. It's very different than Morrowind or Oblivion or Skyrim. It's definitely different than those. But you know, if you're in that universe, this is the lore that you're seeking. And if you're an MMORPG guy and you happen to always want one of these, maybe it's time for that too.
This is a terrible game.
Well, early in the beta, I've heard that, but I've heard that things have improved tremendously.
Well, I played the last beta weekend I had was actually right before I left, and I heard of these improvements. I heard of them. Everyone was saying there's so many improvements the last time you played. I heard it.
But you didn't see them?
Got in the game, same game, piece of shit.
Wow.
Let me just, because I like to warn our viewers. I don't like to give anyone an impression that this is a good game, because I feel like our job is to let people know when things are terrible.
Most definitely.
This is a terrible game, right? This is what I'm going to say that. And the reason I'm going to say it's a terrible game is not because I think it's so much worse and there's bugs and it's shitty. It's a terrible game because the quality that it provides is not the quality of $15 a month. Now, as soon as this game goes free to play, sure, go for it. Have fun. But I will say, you're paying the box price, so you're paying the $60, and then you got to pay the $15.99 a month. It is not worth $15.99 a month. So do not play it. Even if you're a fan of the series, I will tell you it's very disconnected from the series. It's got a ton of lore because, like Derek said, it's kind of starting from the very beginning, which is kind of cool. So there's a lot of lore to get through, but the gameplay, it's so disconnected from Morrowind that I feel like if you're a Morrowind fan and you're really into Elder Scrolls, you're not going to have that connection that you've had with all the other games. You're essentially starting over. So be forewarned when you buy this game. It is not an Elder Scrolls game. It is not Skyrim at all. And be ready to fork over that $15.99. So, you know, if I was to give advice, and I feel like that's my job, I would say wait. Let the game evolve a little bit. Wait till they lose a shit ton of money like Star Wars did, and then they'll go free to play, and then you can just download it for free. All right? All right.
No, that's another way to look at it.
You're welcome. So,
yes. Thank you, Joel Dude I Rock Albert, for your public service announcement. All right. Well, the next new release out this week is also a multi-platform release, and it's MLB 14 The Show. And this is out for the PS3 and the Vita. Now, this is the latest in Sony's MLB The Show baseball franchise, and it actually marks the 9th game in the series, believe it or not. Now, although the PS3 and the Vita versions are launching today with the start of baseball season, which would make perfect sense, the PS4 version doesn't arrive till May, which makes absolutely no sense. And actually, most of the graphical sexiness of this game has all been reserved for the PS4. Now, granted, there's those slight year-over-year graphical improvements that they keep squeaking a little more out of consoles. But if you go through, and one of the side-to-side screenshots they showed was of some of the Red Sox players, same players, and there they are in the PS4 version with like their full, like those creepy beards that we do in Boston, down to here. It looks all disheveled. And then they cut over the PS3 version, same player, same face. The beard's like a tight, like just the brown right up against the skin look to it, not remotely detailed. Background, same way. It's just there's so much more you can do on the next-gen consoles than the last gen, and they've sacrificed those things. I guess the moral of the story here is unless you're planning on getting this for the Vita, I would probably wait till May to pick this up because it's not worth it. If you're a PS4 guy, that's going to be your definitive version and it comes out in May.
I'm so tired of this last gen holding on deal. I get that they make a lot of money off last gen. In fact, their majority of their money is actually still coming from last gen. So I get it. But I feel like in a weird way it affects our gen now, the new gen.
Yeah, like it slows our shit down from coming out because they're working on two things.
Yeah, let it go. Force fuckers to buy yours. Let me tell you this: you stop making games for last gen. People are going to have to eventually buy the new system.
You're like, listen, we've end of lifed all games.
Yeah,
you go to the store and there's thousands of games that you can buy for last gen, but you know what? You're not getting any new ones.
It'd be great if they put in a disc, right? They get the disc, the PS3, they put it in. They go to start it. It says, "Would you like to buy a new system?"
As a PS3 owner, we'll give you a $50 credit. Like just
something like that. Yeah, exactly. Something like, "Oh, you bought this game? Well, it doesn't actually work for the PS3, but if you want to upgrade, give me $400."
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I do feel the same way that this constant multi-generational development is slowing down the development on the current gen, which is it's not next gen anymore. That's our current gen. So they're wasting cycles developing for last gen instead of developing for the current gen, which makes absolutely no sense. Maybe I'll make an Atari game next week.
Exactly.
So fuck that. All right. Well, the last new release out this week is out for the PC, and it is Goat Simulator. Now, this is one of the most talked about games of the year, and it was all the rage this year at GDC 2014. It's a third-person game where you control a goat and is insanely long tongue. Now, I know you'd probably be like, what the fuck if you're not following the PC game scene or gaming news or anything else. Now, there's no story or plot to the game. You're just kind of goating, if you will, goating, and wreaking havoc on the environment. The now famous quote from the creators of the game, they said, "Goat Simulator is like an old-school skating game, except instead of being a skater, you're a goat. And instead of doing tricks, you wreck stuff." Like, that is the only way you can describe this game. Super fun. Everybody that's played it loves it. For $10 on Steam, how can you go wrong? This is a must pick up for me. I wish I had pre-ordered it so I could add it 3 days ago, but I'm definitely picking this up for $10. Have you seen any of this, Jay?
Yes, this is the greatest game ever created. Like, I don't know if this is a game that I actually have been following as well, but this is the type of game that just shows you that you can come up with an idea, however ridiculous, and if you make a game that's actually fun and playable and you can get others involved in, it's a success. Believe it or not, Goat Simulator is an amazing video game for so many reasons. I mean, it's $10, right? So it's cheap. It's got great graphics. Believe it or not, this goat looks phenomenal. This is a phenomenal looking goat. And the goat can get a jetpack and fly around a city and blow shit up. I think those are really three things that you need to make a successful video game. Goat Simulator's got all of them.
And then you get the bonus of having just that sticky tongue. So maybe you're not wreaking enough havoc, so you shoot out your sticky goat tongue, you pick up a TV set, and you kind of wing it around with physics until it's spinning all over the place, and you fucking let that TV set go and smash shit with it. It's just win-win.
And even the developers have had a really fun time with it and talking about how ridiculous Goat Simulator is and how ridiculous it is for them to have created it. If you look at some of the reviews, the developers actually review the game themselves, and they have some really great ones that are just 10 out of 10 would develop again. 10 out of 10 loved goats before, love them more now. I'm just reading some of the ones they have on Steam, but it's funny, fun all around, and they're not taking it so serious that they're saying give us $60. They're just give us $10. And from what I've read, there's been no complaints. People are just I wanted a Goat Simulator. I got so much more.
This was huge at GDC. There were lines insane all day long for people to play this, and everybody that came out of playing it, especially the people I follow on my Twitter feed, nobody had a bad thing to say about it. So
it's fantastic.
Yes, definitely a must pick up. All right, well, I guess on that we will hop over to gaming news, and the first news story before Jay starts, I'm going to warn you, this broke just after we recorded last week, so I want to make sure that we had a chance to talk about this. So First story.
Story. And if you don't know about this now, you're not on the internet pretty much. You live in a rock. But it's a huge story. Facebook buys VR startup Oculus Rift for $2 billion. And we have it labeled as via Wired, but it's pretty much labeled via the internet. Everyone knows about this, right? So if you didn't know, Facebook is spending $2 billion to acquire Oculus, the maker of the Rift, headset designed to immerse you in a 3D game, and of course, other virtual realities, which we'll get to that. Facebook's social network is used by over 1.2 billion people across the globe, but the world is moving away from desktop web browsers where social media networks began, and of course is moving towards mobile devices, including smartphones and tablets, as well as a new breed of wearable devices like the watches and stuff you've seen coming from Google and all the other companies. The company has already made a strong push into the smartphone and tablets. And in announcing the Oculus deal, it indicated that acquisition would help push its social media network into the wearable future alongside things like Google Glass. And if you don't know what Oculus is, I feel like we should have prefaced it a little bit. But it started out as a little Kickstarter thing, right? Tiny little thing. I think they pre-sold 75,000 of them. And it's basically at-home virtual reality. It's fucking badass. So go check that out after the story. Anyway, so quote, the mobile is a platform of today, and now we're also getting ready for the platforms of tomorrow, end quote, read the statement from CEO and founder Mark Zuckerberg. Quote, Oculus has the chance to create the most social platform ever and change the way we work, play, and communicate, unquote. The company said specifically that it will push Oculus's brand of virtual reality beyond gaming, which is important, into, quote, communications, media and entertainment, education, and other areas, end quote. According to Facebook, Oculus will continue to work out of its headquarters in Irvine, California, and it will continue to work on the Rift headset. The company has received over 75,000 orders of the device via Kickstarter, but it has not shipped yet. So this is fucked up news. This is almost what the fuck level, right? It's crazy. Yes. What do you think? Good thing?
I've seen the whole thing. I just don't understand. Like everybody that backed this on Kickstarter, there was such this backlash from them, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is the end of the world! I can't believe they're selling to, Facebook." And I backed this, and basically the nutshell version is people that don't understand Kickstarter. Kickstarter, you make your pledge there on Kickstarter, and if it successfully funds, then you get whatever thing you bought. And most of the time, Kickstarter is just a way to pre-order shit. It's like, oh, I'm pre-ordering this, and when they fund it, then they'll make it with that money, and I'll get it. But people felt like they funded the company, and they should all have some sort of stake in the company and get a percentage of that $2 billion. Like, what kind of fucking retard is on Kickstarter that does this, that doesn't understand how it works? Kickstarter, it tells you right there, in this tier, this is what you're getting for your pledge. And it doesn't say like you're getting 0.01% of the company. It doesn't say that, because you're not investing in the company. You're seeding the company with money to create the product that you are basically pre-ordering. Right. So that was the internet backlash. And then,
well, there's more than that, right? The other backlash is people are all canceling their subscriptions because it's Facebook.
Yeah, that's the flip side. Yes.
So that's my big question to you. Do you give a shit? When I heard the story, first of all, my question wasn't like, oh, ew, Facebook, I'll cancel my pre-order. But mine was more like, wow, Facebook there's no way they're using this for gaming, right? Like they're going to start it with gaming. It's almost like Microsoft getting into your living room, starting with entertainment, but then moving it on to other applications from there. My question is, do you think Facebook is a bad thing? Is it going to hurt them? It doesn't feel like it is, but people are so pissed.
Let's spin this back. Let's spin this back to 2005. Or even before that, 2002, 2001. Microsoft, the company that makes Windows, the most boring thing ever. They make Word and Excel and PowerPoint, most boring things ever. They're like, we're going to make a gaming console. Now, at that time, that seemed like a ludicrous thing there. You're like, oh my God, Microsoft, the people that make Windows, are going to make a gaming console? And fast forward and look, the original Xbox, then Xbox 360, now the Xbox One. That really didn't turn out so bad, did it? That was pretty fucking awesome. And Microsoft created this games division, and they redefined themselves. I don't give a shit who has the $2 billion. And Facebook is just as good as anybody else to take this money and dump it out there. They seem to have a good eye for things. They definitely have the pocketbooks to spend for this. I have no problem with that part. That's why I that part never bothered me. And I saw that Notch was like, oh, I was in talks about making a Minecraft version for, the Oculus Rift. But once I saw this news, oh, fuck Facebook. I don't trust those guys. Like, okay, why don't you just be more pretentious, you fucking one, you talk about everybody. Notch is the famous, like, oh, fucking 1%ers. Notch is now, for those of you that stick up for him, he's like the 1/10 of the top 1%ers.
He's a rich motherfucker.
Yeah. So he is no longer your bro. He's no longer the Minecraft guy. Let's all be retro together. No, Notch is like, I fucking come all over strippers every day, and I wipe my ass with $1,000 bills. Yeah, I'm not sure which accent I'm giving Notch at the moment, but either way, he's got a lot of money.
Well,
and strippers.
I think Deep actually in our chat said it best, which is he basically said Facebook is evil. Probably. Because that's like how everyone sees Facebook. They don't know. They feel like, well, Facebook's job is essentially to collect user data. They're what they do is they acquire users. And for every app or anything they've bought in the last 2-3 years, the acquisitions they've made those acquisitions to get more people. The idea is more people, more eyeballs, more. And that makes people feel a little funny. That makes people feel like, what are they trying to get from me? But I will say this. Every acquisition that they've made so far, they've left those companies completely alone. And they really haven't branded any Facebook or done any major integration with any of those companies. WhatsApp is being completely left alone. Yep. And if you've used Instagram, you'll know that the only thing Instagram has is paste to my Facebook. But even within itself, they don't communicate with one another, right?
Like, and this is not a typical
shit alone.
This is not a typical Facebook acquisition either. This is not software or some web platform. Right. This is a fucking hardware company making a device. The Facebook doesn't sell devices. They don't sell hardware. They're not a hardware company. This is brand new ground. They are literally investors. They're just like the guys that kickstarted, except they made a deal where they got some kickback from the company. Like, they're like, we'll buy the company, we'll get all the kickback. So, sorry for you people that backed it on Kickstarter. I know you feel like you got screwed, but you didn't. That's exactly what Kickstarter is.
Yeah.
And Kickstarter,
you should be happy for them. You should be. You kickstarted a project that you believed in. Now they've made it to the big time, and your response is to say, "Fuck you! I'm too hipster to now buy into that." It's insane. Like, I get it, but you got to look at it this way. Facebook is where Yahoo was 10 years ago, right? This is the reality. Facebook knows that it's reached its critical mass. All it can do now, which Yahoo didn't do, and why Yahoo is in so much fucking trouble, is make acquisitions in things that they believe will sustain long after Facebook is gone. Mark Zuckerberg is a smart motherfucker. He's not buying this because he thinks you're going to put on your Oculus Rift and be connected into Facebook. That's not the idea. He's trying to survive the end of Facebook, which is an inevitable thing. It's going to happen at some point. Yahoo decided to wait to decide. In fact, let me tell you guys a little story. Again, I'm getting a little tangent here, but about 10 years ago, Yahoo tried to make an acquisition of a small company. They offered, I want to say, $1 billion to buy said company. The company then decided, yeah, we'll do it for $1 billion. And then shortly after, they said, I don't know if we want to spend $1 billion. We'll give you $800 million. The guy said, no. Who was the guy? Mark Zuckerberg. It was Facebook, right? Yep. They had an opportunity to buy Facebook and they didn't do it. Mark Zuckerberg, on the other hand, is like, how much billions you want? I'll fucking spread that shit around. Take $3 billion. You want 4? Here's 6. So he's aggressively trying to get out of that thing that happened to him when he was younger. He sees that and he knows that if you're Yahoo now, you might be Yahoo 10 years from now. And he doesn't want to be there. So it's a good acquisition. People need to calm the fuck down.
Yep. Fucking cool it. Otherwise, Facebook becomes the next Friendster, MySpace, Grokster, any of those.
At least they're investing in the future. All right.
Yep. It's good for all of us. Yes. This is putting money into the hardware that we all want in our homes and that we didn't kickstart ourselves.
And you're welcome, other viewer who wanted a really, really long show and me to be long-winded. Now we're like 70 minutes in. You got plenty.
Exactly.
All right.
Next story.
I lost my place. All right. Listing for The Last of Us Complete Edition pops up on Extra Life via joystick. A listing for The Last of Us Complete Edition for the PS4 has appeared on Spanish retailer Extra Life with a launch date of June 19th. The page includes the Last of Us branded satchel, presumably for carrying no more than 3 items. Lol. The bundle is available for a reservation at $64.95, which is just under $90 US. The listing follows comments from Sony Eurasia's software marketing manager, Sirkan Sullen. Love this. Can't people be named Mike anymore? Anyway, about plans for The Last of Us to reach the PS4 this summer with its Left Behind DLC bundle in the purchase. When Extra Life's listed release date of June 19th while Extra Life's listed release date of June 19th isn't the official confirmation, it would line up with the summer window mentioned by Sullen. Following Sullen's comments, Sony stated that, quote, "At no time have we announced The Last of Us is coming to the PS4, end quote. It would be odd for Extra Life to mock up a bundle and take reservations for a non-existent product, however, even one as critically acclaimed as last year's hit from Naughty Dog. Still, without the official confirmation from Sony, it might be best to just be guarded and not take this for fact. But it does kind of make sense. And if I had any game that I would seriously masturbate to, this would probably be the game. So I'm fucking excited.
Oh, hells yeah. This is... It came out too late in the last generation. There was a month before that and the next gen consoles. It is the only game that I feel like I really missed out on at the end of the last generation that I wanted. I have a PS4. I've been waiting for this, and this is some of the best news that has come out in months. Like, everybody that I know that played the game loved it. Critics loved it. But actual human people loved it, not just critics. Like, that never happens. People. Like real That's people and critics. I'm human, and I liked Last of Us.
Exactly.
Like, it was that kind of reviews that were out there. So this is great news. And if this really does come out in June, this is most certainly being a fucking on our PS4 in no time, because I have heard nothing but good things about this game from, like I said, from real people and from our industry friends that are critics and reviewers. And, you know, I just felt really bad for Naughty Dog that this came out at the end of the life cycle of the consoles, because at some point somebody had to be like, you know what, Naughty Dog, your release date is it's going to be pushing, and now you pushed it out to the point where it's going to be like a month before the new consoles come out. And by the time somebody said that to him, it probably was too late, because they never would have made that decision. Or maybe they would have. Or maybe they could have multi-released it, just held it off a month and released it for both. But this is great news.
More money that way. I mean, the reality is, you know, like we've said before, when a new console gets released, it doesn't necessarily make a lot of money because it takes time for people to buy all the systems. And Naughty Dog just figured, hey, I have an install base of X amount of million, or I can go for an install base of possibly $1 million. And I think ultimately they made the right decision, you know. And it's like you said, I really hope this is true. I think if it was a June release date, we probably have heard of it by now. So I could be wrong. That does seem kind of quick, but
I don't know. They showed pictures in this release, and they have pictures of the box art. They have pictures of the little fanny pack bullshit that's branded Last of Us. Either somebody spent a lot of time mocking this up for some no-name Spanish website, or it's the real deal. And I'm going to guess the latter. So, and I'm really hoping the latter, keeping fingers crossed.
Let's hope so. Yes. All right, next story. Retailer allegedly selling Humble Bundle Steam keys for a profit. This is via Gamasutra. This is naughty, bad stuff, people. Game Informer published a short report this afternoon about retailers who are allegedly buying Steam keys for games through the Humble Bundle sales and then reselling those keys at a profit. If you don't know what Humble Bundle is, it's dirt cheap bundles of games you can get off Steam. So they'll package, 10 or 15 games together. They'll be like $1 a piece.
And it goes, you can put anything above that you want for charity.
Yeah, right. So it's like $1 is what they suggested donation is, and then you can, spend $40 if you want. It's pretty, and it works really well. It's a pretty awesome deal. The chief subject of the report is Seven Entertainment, a PC game digital distribution company founded in Singapore in 2009. Now, Seven Entertainment runs a number of websites that sell keys and Steam keys for games, including storefronts like Game Time and Fast to Play. Ed Key, which is ironic, co-creator of Proteus and noted indie developer, independently verified that Fast to Play was reselling Humble Bundle games Steam keys, which can be purchased for as little as $1 by purchasing a key for Proteus through F2Play's website, I'm going to call him F to play from now on because fuck them. Then comparing it to his log of the Steam keys that he issued. So he was going on the website, buying them, seeing if it was the ones that he had issued for the Humble Bundle, and it turned out they were. So these fuckers are selling it for a profit, which is really sad because this is going for donations. So it's kind of messed up. Sure enough, he claims the key he purchased from Fast to Play matched one that he had already sold as part of a Humble Bundle deal. As of this writing, you can still purchase these keys for Proteus on Fast to Play for $3.40. Quote, I don't really consider this to be any different from piracy in my mind, end quote, Key told Game Informer. Quote, the only difference is that they're charging money for something that Pirate Bay would have actually given away for free. That's very true. So what do you think about this type of tactic? It's sad, but I don't think they can do anything. Right.
Well, actually, no, there is fine print when you buy the Humble Bundle that says that whoever's buying the keys, that they're non-redistributable, that you are the end purchaser, blah, blah, blah. Because these people are essentially coming together. Like, maybe each of these individual games might not be worth it to you. But to get 5 or 10 or however many games are in that particular indie bundle and get them all together and really just have you pick the value that you want to and it's a slider, so you get to say, okay, you know what, I'm willing to pay $40 for these 10 games, and I want $10 to go to the charity and $30 to go to the game developers, and it gets split up between everybody that way. Well, in theory, somebody could come in and they could lowball this and pay the bare minimum, give nothing to charity additional, nothing to the developer additional, and take those 10 keys and then resell those 10 keys, because when the Humble Bundle is over, these games go back to their normal prices on Steam. So now you have, maybe you bought these 10 games for, you could have bought them if you were a cheap motherfucker for $1, but really these games are, let's even say they're all $5 each, and they're not. Some are more, some are less. But so now you paid $1 for 10 games, and now you can sell each of those. They sell normally for $5, and you can charge $4 for each. So now you paid $1, you're selling 4 $10 games, or 10 $4 games for $40. You've made $39 on $50 worth of games that you only paid $1 for. The only person that's not making out here, well, two things: the developers aren't making out, and the charity didn't make out. You fucked everybody. So this is bad form. This is really bad form all around.
I mean, I'll wrap it up because I don't want to go too long on this. But my whole thing is, yeah, it's in the fine print, but I don't think they can really do anything to stop this. They can ban the key, but then what's ends up happening is the guy that legitimately bought it from this Fast to Play is the guy that gets fucked, right? I mean, it's like it hurts the guy that ultimately buys the game.
It's all pushback from there. So then he has to take it up with free to play. Yeah, it's a trickle back system. I am not a fan of this, Jack.
No, of course not. It's a terrible thing. Terrible thing. Fuck those dudes, guys.
Fuck them.
All right, next story, and it is a what the fuck awesome story. And I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is amazing. Banned Titanfall players can still play online with other cheaters. So Respawn's website for Titanfall introduced a new section explaining what happens to players who are flagged as cheaters. And it's fucking brilliant. According to the information on the site, if you're flagged as a cheater, you will be banned from the normal servers and corralled into a special cheaters only category that limits your online play to matchmaking with other online cheaters. So if you've got a cheat mod, you're fighting another guy with a cheat mod. Cheat on cheat. On the question of what actually happens when you get banned, Respawn offers the following answer. Quote, great news. You get to keep playing Titanfall. Reads the website. Less great news. You only get to play with other cheaters. You can play with other banned players in something that will resemble the Wimbledon of aimbot contest. If you don't know what aimbot is, a lot of people sell these aimbot services where essentially you click fire and it doesn't matter. You can be aiming at your dick. You'll hit anything in front of you. So that's what an aimbot is. Hopefully the aimbot cheat that you paid a ton of money for is really the best. And these all cheater matches could be frustrating for you. Good luck. So assuming you have the best aimbot mod out of all the other cheaters, it might be fun. I don't know. It's going to be ridiculous. Respawn goes on to say that if you do get banned, and this is really interesting, anyone in your party will also be banned. When anyone in your party, quote, is banned, then everyone in your party will be treated as a banned player for that session, end quote. Quote, if you are a non-cheater and you invite a cheater friend into your party, then you will be stuck playing against cheaters. If you stop inviting your cheater friend, you will once again get to play with your non-cheater population. You do not get permanently tainted just by playing with a cheater. You are only banned for cheating itself if you're actually cheating. So this is great too. Even if Derek decides to cheat and I'm like, dude, it's okay. Come into my party. We'll totally po noobs and I will protect you from the cheater land. Doesn't matter. I am automatically a cheater by association, which I love. And if I want to play the game and I really want to hang out with Derek, well, then that's too bad. He's already cheated. He's labeled a cheater. I have to play by myself in order to be in that pool of players. This is how all cheating should work.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. This is the greatest concept ever for cheating.
This is the standard. This is now the standard all video games should be met by. Yes. This way they don't got to worry about who to ban and, oh no, they paid for a video game. And this is what happens in this industry is, especially in games like World of Warcraft and all these other games, you pay top dollar to play these games. And these companies feel like, well, we don't want to hurt our numbers. You know, we want you to keep paying for the subscription, the DLC, access to the servers. We want you to be invested in our IP and always play. But this is the best of both worlds. You play, no one's taking your game away. You paid your money fair and square. Play how you want to play. You want to play like a cheater? Play with
the other cheaters. It's like Valve's VAC should do this. Everybody should do this. It should be like, okay, you know, because the old method for like Valve's VAC would be like, oh, I found you cheating. You're booted. And Valve didn't do permanent bans, but they would basically boot you until you came into your client showed up and it wasn't cheating. Yeah. But this is such a better system. Fuck banning people. Just put them all together. Like if you want to be that guy that needs to, instead of connecting to the server, you're connecting to this proxy that then connects to the server and the proxy is doing all your aiming and shooting. You know what? Let 20 other guys connect that proxy, and then you can go in. It is like, it literally is the Wimbledon of aimbot. It is all of a sudden, it's like, whose CPU is faster? Who is giving me the coordinates of me and the other guy fast enough that I can make you have that perfect headshot every time? It is, I would love to see one of those games recorded on Twitch, actually. That would be fun to watch, is a game of a full Titanfall party of all people with aimbots. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this is the gold standard. Yes. I would only hope that anyone and everyone that plays and makes and builds, does anything with video games, this is a huge problem and this is a great solution. Everybody wins. Even the cheaters win. Because they can't cry and say, I paid $60 for this game.
You took away my game.
Yeah. This is great. Love it. D-Smooth, what do you think about this story?
Jay, this story has me saying, what the fuck took someone so long to come up with this? And on that, why don't we move over to the mailbag and voicemails? Altius asks, with the polar vortex and crazy weather patterns that have hammered the United States this winter, when the numbers are in, do you think we'll see an uptick in sales from people that thought it was just too goddamn cold to go outside? You know, I don't know. Did more people stay in and play video games because they didn't want to go outside?
I would say no, but I'm only using myself as a reference point. I've played less video games this year than I probably ever have in the last 5, and it was cold as fuck. So I don't know. I don't know that it forces them to play more games. I do think you are inside more, so inherently you're probably more likely to pick up the controller. So how that would actually relate into sales, I don't know. That's a thinker.
Yeah, it is a thinker, because you'd be like, well, okay, well, if it's let's not pick Joe Country. Let's pick Joe Suburbs and City. Yes. Okay, so it's a cold day, and on that normal cold day, maybe you'd be like, well, let's go out to a restaurant or let's go shopping, but it's too cold. You don't want to go outside. Yeah. The car's going to be too cold. You're going to freeze. So you're going to stay home. You're probably going to either cook something at home or order takeout, and then you're going to either watch TV, or since you didn't go to the store to buy a video game, I guess the next gen games, all digital distribution. That's a possibility.
Maybe you download a game that you might not have bought at the store, and
you're like, well, now we're stuck in, and maybe when we went to Best Buy tonight, if we had gone, maybe we're going to get game X. So let's just download it. Let's just buy it online and let's play that. Okay. Yeah. I can see that argument, and I can see your argument where, I'm home and let's watch TV then. Whatever. Right. We're stuck here. Let's just watch another movie.
Because at the end of the day, you still got to want to play the game. It could be freezing outside, but there's no good games out. I'm not going to play them. And really, that's been my problem up until probably a week ago, right? I mean, like now I got Diablo 3 expansion. I got to fucking play that. I got Titanfall. There's games that I can play finally, and it's nice out. God damn it. When it was 30 below, I was doing nothing. It's like, God, give me a game. Now it's spring, and there you go. Now I got to play. So.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. This is a thinker. Like I can literally see this both ways, and I guess that's what Altius usually does to us. Is he puts on these questions that make you really contemplate things. And I wish I had thought about this before, because since I copied and pasted in the outline, I wish I had actually thought about this so I had a better answer. But yeah, I don't know. Altius, that is a great question. I don't know if there's a right answer, because even once we get the MPD results, these are results for a new console and another new console. Like, it's hard to compare to anything.
That's like trying to find the causation without, like, you're just like, oh yeah, I can attribute that to it cold. Sure, why not? There was an uptake in January. Yeah, it was the cold. Yeah. I would love to know if there was more digital downloads because of the freezing cold or not. I mean, for me, I would think that would be a bigger. Well, I don't know if you could still show those numbers, but I would think that would be a big deal. I don't want to go to the fucking store to buy it. I'm going to play more Steam games because of that fact, because I'm lazy and it's fucking cold outside.
Or maybe if you're an Xbox One or PS4 guy and you were going to go buy a game and you bought it now on digitally instead, and you weren't someone that was smart and realized that digital is the best way to buy the games anyway. Well, actually, let's throw this out to the audience there. Did any of you that listen or watch end up buying a game digitally that you would have bought on disc because it was too cold or there was a storm or you didn't want to go out? Just let us know.
General laziness.
Yeah, just hit us up, Twitter, Facebook, podcast@tooledtoplay.com, or 773-527-2961. Just let us know if this situation happened to you in some sort of way, shape, or form, and it would be interesting to color our own results.
Yeah.
So. Yep. All right, well, great thinking question, Altius. That really it got the gears turning, and Jay's 3-week off the show head is just like, I don't even know what to think. This is too much for me.
Show. It is swimming.
You almost threw up during the show from that. All right. Well, if you need feedback, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooledtoplay.com. You can also comment in this episode's thread on the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors! Remember, by supporting our sponsors, you help to support Still Got Game. GoDaddy, starting at less than $5 a month. GoDaddy web hosting provides 99% uptime, 24/7 support, and free access to the GoDaddy hosting connection, the place to quickly install over 50 applications like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, Ear, OS Commerce, and more. Go to tooledtoplay.com/GoDaddy for great deals on new.com registrations and renewals starting at just $1.99. Some restrictions apply. See site for details. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com. And if you'd like to sponsor us, and you're a sponsor that doesn't require people to purchase your product for us to get paid, let us know. We'll sell your product. You'll pay us. You tell us what you're going to pay. We'll tell you what we'll sell it for, and then vice versa. And you'll say, well, I want to pay you $100 an episode. And we'll be like, oh, my God, that's not enough. We want $500 an episode. And then you'll be like, fuck you. And then we'll come to some realization that's more like $30 an episode. I see Jay waving me off in the corner there. But yeah, we'll come up to something, and we have done this before. We have had smaller clients that have come to us and they said, listen, we're not a big company. We can't afford your prices. But we want to get to the Still Got Game audience. And we cut them a deal because we throw a bone to the little guy. And there's been Tool to Play clans that have advertised with us for a very small amount per episode. So if you are one of those people, you let us know and we'll come to a deal with you. And once we set that up, we'll put your ads out there and you will enjoy it and you will reap the benefits from your ad. So let us know, 773-527-2961, podcast@tooledtoplay.com. All right. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool2Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. I, king of the internet, god of everything that's fucking holy, am at twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
And you could sometimes find me over at twitter.com/DudeIRock.
Facebook the fuck out of us. Trademark. Facebook.com/Tool2Play. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/DudeIRock.
Also, we have a little thing called the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool2Play. Go there, subscribe, and you will get all of Tool to Play's fine video content. That includes regular weekly shows like Still Got Game. It includes semi-monthly shows or semi-annual or quarterly shows like Thick and Thin with LB and Duty. It also covers that, all the time content whenever there's something new, which is hits, quick motherfucking shits.
Watch HitTakeAShit.com.
That's Hit's new website. WatchHitTakeAShit.com.
It's amazing.
Yes, and that's where Hits motherfucking hit.
When he takes a shit, he just looks at the ceiling and he's like, "Oh!"
If any of you watched Hit, this is what his stream looks like on Twitch.
Yep, that's about right. Nope, you're a little too low. There you go. That's where his monitor is. That's amazing.
Guys, all right, guy B, going to C. That is a perfect example of Hit's motherfucking quick fucking shits. So yes, but definitely all of that content. You subscribe to us on YouTube, that will all be pushed to you, and you will know whenever there's a new episode of any of our shows. Also, maybe you're not into the YouTube channel and you just want all that content without going to YouTube because you're some kind of communist asshole. Well, we have this thing called the Tools Play app, and you can go to the iTunes store. You can pull that down right now. It's free. Install it. You'll get all the Tools Play homepage content, as well as be notified of all of our video content right from the app, and you can watch it right from there. And that kind of cuts out the middleman, but it does hurt our YouTube subscribers, so please do both. Now, I know that a lot of you have mentioned either in comments to the show or via email that you have some issues with the Tools Play app, and that's okay because this is a work in progress. So please let us know. Put it in the show comments on the Tools Play homepage, the things you would like to see changed with the Tools Play app, the improvements you'd like made. And I know the biggest one is that we use the wrong logo and it says a website for older gamers instead of the community for older gamers. And that is a mere oversight on the part of somewhere in the development chain. But I'm not going to say who fucked that up, but his name starts with a dude and ends with the I with a rock. And, but if you did know someone that fucked that up, they could fix that and just let us know in the show comments. Also, please rate and review this podcast in iTunes. Give us 5 stars, which is what we deserve, which is what we need. And also, please write some little review for us. And for those of you that don't have something to write, you're not creative, you're a retard, here's a little script for you. Yes. Thank you, Jay, for that. That support. Here's your script.
Okay.
I blank love Still Got Game. The reason why I love it is blank. It makes me feel blank. Sometimes I get wet in the blank when I listen to the boys because they're talking about blank. Sometimes I touch my blank while listening to Still Got Game because it really makes me blank. I fucking love this show. I fucking love blank more than blank because he's the best host. Thank you. 5 stars.
Yeah, it sounds about right, actually.
Yeah, it's like a Mad Libs.
It's a Mad Lib.
Just fill it in. And however that comes out, one of us will be sad, one of us will be happy, but we'll know that something is going on with you where there's some moistness.
And honestly, I'd be happy if you just put in blank. That's fine. If you want to go verbatim.
Yeah, don't even fill the blanks if you know.
Fuck it. Just blank it up.
Just 5 stars and leave the blanks. But that's a quality script if you need one. Also, subscribe to us on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/tooltoplay. Click the little fucking follow button or whatever it's called on there and follow the channel. You'll be notified whenever any of our live streams go. And that includes both this show, plenty of other shows, as well as at various times throughout the week, different people are posting their live content, their live gameplay content right on Twitch, the actual thing Twitch is meant for, not shows like this. And those things do go out there, whether it's Hit playing or somebody else. Mostly it's Hit, and he's broadcasting his own channel and this channel simultaneously. He's single-handedly bringing down the internet with all the bandwidth that he is streaming to. But and once again, that's the only place you will ever see gameplay like this.
Oh, it's great. You get to see fucking Adam's apples for 6 hours a day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right.
It's really just Hit trying to prove that he's actually a dude. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, I am not a chick. Look.
It's just 6 hours of him like, I'm totally a dude.
Yeah, if you look, dude, the process of me being a female is not done yet. I'm still a male.
He colors it in pencil before he goes on.
Oh, yes. All right, so last but not least, please join us each and every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/tooltoplay. We are live, and that time will be changing once Joel Dude I Rock Albert becomes a California resident. But for now, that is our time.
May 1st, people, I'll be over there. So,
all right. Well, I guess on that, why don't we wrap this episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
Guess who's back? Back again. Judy Rock's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Oh!